Hello, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time we're taking a look at even more Transformers Kingdom stuff provided by IGN. So I was going to talk about these with a recent leak with the Generations Kingdom Inferno, but there's no real point. I'll just say that the Kingdom Inferno is a red repaint of grapple with a couple of new hose pieces that attaches to the legs. It also looks like it comes with a secondary extension hose piece that will attach to the arm, and then it's also got a new ladder piece, as well as a new box section for the head with the fins, but otherwise that's pretty much it. I do like it, but anyways, we're going to focus on the Kingdom stuff because that's the main thing, and we've got full images of the alt modes as well as the robot modes. So we're going to start off with Airazor. Now, when we heard about the leaks and the names, we heard that Airazor was apparently going to be the worst one of the bunch, but that wasn't even a bad thing, and I could totally understand what they're talking about, but even then, I think it looks pretty good. I like the aesthetic of the bird on top, the feathery design, especially on the back tail and the wings itself. The head looks pretty good, but of course you've got the robot kibble showing. You know, with these Beast Formers, Transformers, there's going to be robot kibble peeking out. It's not going to be 100% perfect, so I totally understand the flaws behind that. And then also, I mean, a bird, you know, you look at the jet Transformers and you look at all the kibble underneath there, you can kind of get an idea that Airazor would have the same problem. So anyways, but yeah, even with that said, the top section of the bird form does look really good. And I especially love that head design. I even like the talons at the bottom there. I think this looks fantastic. And what I really love about this is you have articulated wings, which is a cool thing, because usually they just have the wings as one piece. Maybe you'll have a hinge or two, but no, you have a couple of hinges to get this perched mode for it, and I really do like the way this looks. Taking a look at the robot mode, that is straight up Airazor. You got the bird head in the chest, you've got the wings that just sprout like that, and it looks fantastic. You got the rockets on the side of the arms, which you could plug. You could also plug them at the back of the legs. It does have those 5mm ports, so it does continue with that siege gimmick. But what I really love is the head. That is straight up Airazor. Another thing that I really like is the fact that it's got gold accents, which I feel like was missing on Cheetor. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. And here's hoping that Tigertron comes out soon. I know there's going to be a Tigertron. Another mode that I want to bring up is apparently they were having fun with mistransforming the figure because you can swap out for the bird head. Okay. That's all I'm going to say is okay. You know what? The rockets kind of look like miniature arcs. I don't know if that's just me. Taking a look at Dinobot, so obviously this is going to be flawed again. You can see the feet are sticking out of the back, and because the legs are in the entirety of the bottom of the figure, you know, the torso section, it does look a little bulky to me, but otherwise, I do kind of like it. But with those flaws, I don't know, it's just, it kind of destroys it a little, but it's definitely not the worst thing. I think I was worrying about it a little too much, and it's much better than what I thought it was going to be originally. Taking a look at the design, I love the rigid texture of the skin. I love the head design too. That is straight up a Velociraptor, and I really do like that. I even like how the claws just kind of go like this. I don't know if that's just me. But one good thing about this toy is you also got articulated toes just based on how it transforms with the hands. So that's a nice touch. Otherwise, yeah, I think this is pretty good. And then taking a look at the robot mode, so Dinobot was my most anticipated figure, and with the robot mode, it does not disappoint. I will say that in some images, the torso does look a little weird. It looks a little wide right here, but otherwise, I like how the head seems to form inside the torso. I think that's a nice idea. I do even like the weapon that can combine with the tail whip thing. That's very nice, and you could plug that properly into the hand. I will also say this looks a lot better than the Universe Classics Dinobot, because that thing was, But, yeah, I like how clean the legs look, and I especially love the head. They did not screw that up. I love the deep blue. I love the gold on the helmet itself, the nice eyebrows. It just looks wicked. It looks like that warrior type, and I absolutely love it. Now, moving right along, I also want to talk about the Earth mode Ultra Magnus. Now, There's a couple of things I wanted to bring up with this package image because it brings to light a couple of things that I had concerns about looking at the stock images. The first thing I want to bring up is, yes, the small Ultra Magnus, which I call the White Optimus Prime, does have heels in some of the stock images. It does not have those flipped out, but that's no surprise. And then also the back cab section, or actually it's the front of the cab, does fold up. You will notice in some of the other stock images that it's down. Even in some of the other stock images, like they have the image with the white backdrop, and then they have the images with the nice backdrop with the fiery volcano. Every stock image besides this has something mistransformed about Ultra Magnus. And even in the full robot mode with all the parts, the waist belt piece is not flipped around properly. So, yeah. I will also point, while we're taking a look at this, that the chest is missing the red bit in the robot mode, which is kind of weird. It's just unpainted, it's blue here, but in the other stock images, it is properly painted. Taking a look at the alt mode now, the alt mode's kind of a mixed bag for me, because I understand what they're going for with this, and I don't necessarily blame them, but I feel like they could have done more. I feel like it needed another panel to clean up the side of the cab section, or just something, because I do like the remolded cab section. The front does look good. It looks like its G1 counterpart. But then you take a look at some of the other parts and you just see that Cybertronian style Ultra Magnus, especially with the arms sticking out. I don't like that. It looks a lot better here than I thought it would be compared to the original box image that we saw, because those arms just seem to stick straight out. But you do have that hinge that's right there that I'm not sure how I feel about that. Some people also speculate that this Ultra Magnus is going to be taller compared to the original one, because some people did not like the upper legs being so short. And when you take a look at this, it looks like the cap sticks out further, which people speculate that must be part of the legs. I don't think so. I think that's just how the panels are designed, because you'll notice that the panel on the front, the side there with that trailer section, is molded differently compared to this figure. And you will see that the top red section does not line up with the smokestacks like the Siege figure does. I also want to point out that apparently this figure does not come with those black gun pieces, but it does come with every other weapon piece, so that's fine. Taking a look at the robot mode for the front cab. So again, I do like the remolded piece, and you will notice the mistransformed parts that I mentioned before. However, it just doesn't really work necessarily to me, but neither did some of the other Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime core figures, because I feel like when you compare it to the Siege and the Earthrise design, they get a lot of the things out of the way to make the shape of the torso, and then for this it's just very squared because they're not focused on the cap section, which I'm totally fine with because I'm going to slap armor to it anyway, so I'm not going to really display it in this form, but yeah, it just looks a little off. And then some of the detail and design aspects just doesn't really work with the overall toy, but I do like how it's painted. I like the aspects of the new parts and the old parts. I'm not sure if it really flows together too well. And then taking a look at the overall robot mode, so with everything combined, again, you can see that belt piece is not flipped around. I do like it overall in this form. I think that this is the best form. The head is a new mold as well. It comes with the glasses, the proper glasses. The smokestack, or not smokestack, but the shoulder pieces definitely look cool. They look much bulkier. I can see that the arm pieces, the guards, are the same exact piece. The legs, for the most part, seems to be the exact same piece, but the chest seems to be new, and again, the head and the shoulders seem to be new. So I feel like this figure is going to be a shelf warmer, because some people probably already got the Siege figure, and if they didn't, they probably thought, okay, I'm just going to buy the Netflix one if I miss out on that. So I think enough people have gotten the Ultra Magnus to not worry about this. I feel like some collectors will still get this, and that's totally fine. I feel like I could get it and, not have a problem with it, because I do like Ultra Magnus. But otherwise, I'm certain that this is going to be the shelf warmer. And it's funny too because this is one of the last leader classes for the War for Cybertron line, and Ultra Magnus was actually the first, or one of the first leader classes for the whole line, starting with Siege. But yeah, I think it looks decent. I think it looks fine, but considering the fact that I have my Siege Ultra Magnus, and I really like the alt mode for that, I don't necessarily need this one. I will say, though, with some of the speculation people have that maybe Ultra Magnus will come back to the show, and I'm not denying that, but I feel like the main reason why they're going for an Earth mode Ultra Magnus is because they're doing the other 1986 characters. You know, we got Cyclonus, we've got Hot Rod, we got Cup, we got Jazz. You know, some of those leaking into Kingdom that they just decided, okay, we're going to bring Ultra Magnus in so that he lines up with everything else. Which makes me curious to see if Springer will come back in some form, if anyone missed out on that. Maybe it'll come out in a multi-pack, maybe a selects pack, I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. But with that out of the way, that's my opinion. So what do you guys think? Please comment below, let me know. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and those fun doodads. And I will see you guys next